The Scientific Library of Kharkiv National University of Internal Affairs continues the video series Outstanding Ukrainians. Today, we are going to tell you about the Queen of Ukrainian theater, the first truly national artist of Ukraine, Mariia Zankovetska. Mariia Zankovetska, real name Mariia Zankovetska, was born on the 4th of August in 1854 in the village of Zanki in Chernihiv region. Her father was a descendant of Cossack officers who later received a noble title. Mariia began her studies at a private boarding school in Chernihiv. The girl plunged into the world of knowledge with ease and pleasure, but most of all, she loved to improvise with her friends at dance lessons and pantomime classes. The girls staged small plays and various sketches for themselves and performed them with great pleasure. Mariia wanted to enter the conservatoire to study singing professionally, but her parents would not hear of her future career as a singer, although they could see their daughter's bright theatrical talent. Mariia continued to act in amateur performances. During one of these performances, a young officer, Alexei Klistov, noticed a beautiful young actress. Promising to support her in her theater career, Klistov won her hand in marriage. At the age of 17, the girl left her parents' home and went with her husband to Bessarabia, to the place of her husband's service. But as soon as the wedding celebration was over, the young wife was horrified to learn that her husband's promises were worthless. A married life of empty promises continued with terrible bouts of jealousy. One day, during another argument, Klistov severely beat his pregnant wife. Mariia lost her child and became infertile. The young woman was very depressed by the gray and monotonous life. The only consolation and comfort was the amateur club of the Bendery Fortress. It was here that Mariia first met infantry officer Mykola Tobilevich, who later became one of the most prominent Ukrainian actors, performing under the pseudonym Sadovsky. Nikolai Sadovsky began to promote Mariia's exceptional talent. Together with her, he played in Natalka Poltavka. Their beauty, their voices, and the sincerity of their feelings amazed the audience. Mariia's friends reproached Klistov for hiding his wife's talent from the world. Alexei insisted that Mariia's talent was closely connected to Ukraine and promised that he would only allow his wife to perform on the Ukrainian stage, hoping that this would never happen. He knew that in the 19th century, Ukrainian theater did not exist. It was banned by the Russian Tsarist authorities. 6 months later, thanks to Kropivnitsky's efforts, the Tsarist ban on Ukrainian theater was eased. From then on, Mariia Klistova and her troupe could tour Ukrainian cities. Mariia Klistova was starting a new chapter in her life, and for the sake of the stage, she now becomes Zankovetska. She avidly studies Ukrainian and world literature, preparing herself for her childhood dream of performing on stage. Marko Kropivnitsky was so moved by Zankovetska's performance that after one of the rehearsals he cried, took off his turquoise ring and put it on her finger with the words, "I betroth you, Marusha, to the stage. Now I have someone to write dramas for." Having fallen passionately in love with Sadovsky, Mariia wanted to end her marriage with Klistovyi, but it was not so easy. She filed for divorce, taking all the blame for the fact that their marriage did not work out. According to the tradition of the time, a woman who caused a divorce had to spend 7 years in a monastery before remarrying. However, Zankovetska had no time for monasteries. Her career, love with Sadovsky, and total success were the only things she was living for at the time. Mariia Zankovetska was compared to the world-famous theater stars of her time, the Frenchwoman Sarah Bernhardt, the Italian Eleonora Duse, and the Polish Helena Modrzejewska. Her contemporaries believed that her talent would have done honor to the best European stages. She was offered work in the imperial and private theaters of St. Petersburg and Moscow, but the actress remained loyal to her native Ukrainian stage and played a significant role in the revival and development of the Ukrainian National Theatre. Mariia Zankovetska was its symbol and soul. She brought her acting skills to the highest level. From the first minutes of the performance, she captivated the audience and did not let go until the last word on stage, forcing them to experience all the vicissitudes of the heroine together with her. She created her costumes on paper herself, and the sketches were used to make her outfits. Meanwhile, the personal drama of the adored actress was coming to an end. It was no secret that Sadovsky had affairs with various women. His mistresses were young actresses who bore him children. Mariia often forgave her lover, but at some point her patience broke down. She kicked him out after 20 years of marriage. Mykola Sadovsky emigrated abroad. Mariia moved to Kiev and settled in a house that belonged to the family of her sister, Lydia. In February 1933, Mykola passed away. "Farewell, my old friend. Farewell, treacherous and beloved," the gray-haired muse whispered in a monologue from the last act of Unhappy Love. A year later, she also passed away. There is half a meter between the graves of Mariia Zankovetska and Mykola Sadovsky, the distance of a handshake. But they still lie there, separated by the line of fate, albeit in the same theater of life. Time passes, but their fame does not fade. Something remains after the actors, their touch on human souls.